Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called Ultimate Pâté by developer Spotline. This is a first-person shooter set in an idyllic forest location. We're going to be hunting down 5 animals of our choosing to create our own personal ultimate recipe for pâté. It's a very strange and quirky premise, and honestly, it seems a little controversial perhaps, so if you're anyone who's maybe squeamish or, particularly a large proponent for animal rights, this might not be the right game for you. I guess I was in a bit of a morbid mood, though, so I thought maybe I would check it out. Seems rather pretty anyway, at least from what I could see. So we're going to be hunting down 5 different animals here. We can choose which animals we want to hunt, and when we are finished, we will have our ultimate can of pâté. Pâté, by the way, in case you're not familiar, is a mixture of ground-up meat and fat turned into a sort of a spread. Probably most familiar with the concept of foie gras. Anyway, hunt your game in one screening of the forest. Bring back 5 ingredients for the most succulent pâté. And these are our choices here. We can choose from the lousy black sheep, the sneaky fox, the rare flamingo, the silent giraffe, and the majestic unicorn. I really like those adjectives. They give the game a lot of character, actually. I love that the black sheep is just lousy. Anyway, let's jump into things. So we can do X to aim, C to shoot, V to sneak, arrows to move, and aim. Play with headphones, please. Okay, well, mission accomplished. So, I do have headphones on anyway. Let's look around here. We've got a very pretty forest, actually. We've got some dense foliage on the ground, some lovely backing music that goes along with it. I think we're definitely trying to paint a picture here of a forest location that is especially... kind of like one of those Eden situations where everything is just bountiful and beautiful and wonderful, and we're gonna kind of romp through here with our shotgun and do some carnage. There is the lousy black sheep. That is ingredient number 1. This may not be the finest pâté. I'm not sure if black sheep is generally a thing that you find in very many pâté mixtures, but I guess this one is gonna have that today. So we're just kind of wandering about here. We've got a variety of different types of trees and flowers, some very large mushrooms growing out of the ground here, it looks like. A variety of different bushes, and just generally a lo-fi, low-res approach, although it's not quite as low-res as some of the other games of similar genres I've seen. This one is maybe, at least fidelity-wise, a little bit more able to be parsed from a slight distance, but I think it does run a nice blend because it's graphically, it looks nice enough that, like, any still picture of this is really quite striking. It's very colorful. It's got a lot going on. The density of things is all there. But then when you break it down, the actual individual art assets are a lot more doable, like, from a, execution perspective. And I'm not saying that they're simplistic or anything, because they're actually, some of them are quite complex. But at the same time, you kind of forego and eschew the whole process of creating these like ultra high-res textures that ultimately are going to fall into an uncanny valley situation anyway. You end up with something, I think, which has a lot more characteristic feature to it. The whole thing just feels better rather than going for a completely naturalistic approach. So there's the sneaky fox. Sneaky fox, goodbye. Yeah, so Sneaky Fox has been dispatched. There is no picking up of the meat or skinning the animal. They actually just sort of dissolve into the ground. That fox did not have a chance, unfortunately for him. Oh, it's actually got to be a filter, huh? Because I don't know how you would create this type of lighting scenario where we've got this god ray thing coming through the pine trees, but it's all dithered down. What is like high pass or low pass? There's a specific type of processing feature where you can basically distill down series of layers of color to like some very basic increments, and I think that's what's happening in real time here, which is why you're getting those bands instead of a smooth transition across those color schemes from through that bit of light coming through the trees there. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed with lighting. I don't know what it is. I just really want to analyze all of it. Oh, I hear some clopping, or actually I hear a giraffe. Sorry, lousy giraffe. You're all going to be lousy today, animals. As I hunt you down. It's interesting, too, that it's like, we're clearly trying to pitch the whole idea that this is just such an idyllic, beautiful forest location, and like, we're just an engine of chaos for our own personal can of spreadable meat. Like, that's such a strange premise. It makes you wonder, like, what is the backing narrative to this game? Is there actually, like, an agenda behind it, or is it just meant to be silly and irreverent? Is it just, did the developers want to create a forest, and then it made sense to create this type of gameplay around it? I don't know. These are kind of questions I'd like to pose to you guys in the audience. I feel, though, and this is just me guessing, but the way that this is put forward, with the music being kind of like over-the-top beautiful, with the colors being so over-the-top rich and saturated and colorful, I don't know, it seems to me like we're trying to play up the fact that there's brutality here. I mean, it's obviously self-evident, I don't think I need to even say that, but I feel like we're going above and beyond to try and make a point of showing it off. And there's even, like, little details, like the leaves falling in the sky. We've got some particles hanging in the air. I don't know if these are supposed to be fireflies or if they're just, like, bits of dust catching in the light. Either way, it's a surprisingly beautiful scene in every direction. By the way, you can run into walls. I don't know if you've noticed, but there are actually scenes where you can kind of just run into nothing, and it'll stop you from moving. I think they also happen to correspond with the high... Yeah, they do correspond with the higher walls, too. Not a big deal or anything, I just figured I would mention it. You know, it's not like this is an endless, bountiful forest that goes off in every direction forever. I'm also not sure if it's procedurally generated. It very well may be, actually. It's kind of hard because there's no real landmarks to be able to draw from one playthrough to the next. So I'm kind of not coming up with a lot of animals here lately. It seems like maybe they've learned their lesson. They're staying away from me. And as I say that, I hear something skittering away. Oh, is it another fox? Gun has quite a bit of impact. Also, the aiming mechanism in this game and generally the... Oh, wow. 2 foxes there. The way that controls work in this are a bit unexpected. I was figuring this would be a mouse and keyboard game, but as it turns out, it's actually, you know, just arrow keys like I mentioned earlier. I should really be using sneak probably here, but I'm not because I'm a scum. Oh, flamingo! Oh, all the animals have coalesced in this one spot. Done. Pâté created. But yeah, you use the arrow keys to walk around, and then X switches to aim, so it's not like you're just going to be able to just quickly target things. So it's a little bit more methodical in that way. But, you know, the game is not so much about having Twitch reactions, I guess. It's really more about the narrative than anything, which is why I find it sort of an interesting presentation, why I'm kind of curious to solicit some of your opinions here as well. So we get our own customized Pâté. It would be kind of interesting, like, based on what you ended up shooting as your game, like, what this ending screen ended up looking like, but, you know, either way, kind of an interesting premise here. So yeah, let me know what you think about this one in the comments. I'm very curious. Make sure you leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and be sure to come back again tomorrow. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day, so if you're into the idea of finding out about a new artistic, original, or unique indie game every day, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out a whole bunch. Helps get the whole ball rolling about helping people find out about these games that generally don't get a lot of press. So, you know, I'm trying to do my part, and if you guys want to help out, best thing you can do is share the video, or just, you know, leave a comment or a like on it. All of those things help. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I know it was a bit of an off-kilter episode. The opinions expressed here were very much just sort of nebulous wandering with the hope that you guys could contribute to a discussion on this one, because I don't know exactly what to make of it. It's a beautiful hunting game where you make pâté. You know, what are indie games really, right? They're all kind of strange at times lately. Anyway, I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, everybody.